which is kind of an interesting idea and something you and I have talked about in bigger, larger ways for years, right?
Yeah, it is. If you think about it, it's really like a crazy concept. And for me, I think, especially with what I've been through 2 seasons ago with New Orleans, and then coming to LA and winning a championship, I think you win because you're happy. With me applying this to my life, off the floor, I was happy. On the floor, I was happy, joyful, excited, and now I win a championship. So I think some people do, is happy because they win, but I for sure was the other one. I was definitely win because I was happy for sure.
So when you did win the title, we were all in the bubble. Did you reward yourself with anything? I know you have a very fancy, large, shiny ring, but did you get anything for yourself?
I didn't. I know I see some guys, Kuz pulled up in a Lamborghini. I was like, oh, cool, you doing your thing. So I haven't bought anything of that magnitude. The only thing that I hate that we didn't do was have the parade. We really pushed to have that parade, but that just means we have to win it again this year to have one.
Is that what you think? Because they said they're going to delay it and do it anyway. But if you just win another title, you can just take care of it all in one.
Exactly. That's the plan.
How does winning a championship change your mindset?
When we won, obviously I was a meme, crying and things like that, but that was one of the best feelings in the world, for sure. And I want to have that feeling again. And a couple more times. I don't want to be a one-stop shop, a one-time thing. You want one, now it's, I want multiple. And I think that's the drive behind this season.
What'd you think of the meme?
It was everywhere. I saw one that was so funny when the PlayStation 5s and stuff was coming out and the Xboxes. It said when your girl walk in and buy you a PS5, and it was me sitting there crying. Oh, it was hilarious. They had it for everything.
There was also the one of you peeking around the door when we were in the bubble.
Yeah. That one too. That was a good one. Man, I had a couple memes in the bubble, huh? Man.
See? You're an internet star, Anthony Davis. What is hard about trying to repeat?
You're going to get everybody best shot. Everybody wants to be the champions. That's the toughest part. And now you appreciate, back when we were playing, you're like, man, the Warriors are cheat code, man. These guys, man, they just winning. They adding players. But now, as a champion and you come out this year, you really appreciate, like, man, those guys, that was tough what they did. That was very tough to come out and repeat, and even back when Shaq and Kobe three-peat, it was tough to see what those guys did, especially when you have this target on your back. So you're going to get everybody's best shot.
Breaking news. James Harden has been traded.
You assemble Lethal Weapon 3. There's simply no excuse not to come out of the East.
The landscape of the NBA has changed again. What do you think of James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving playing together and the challenge that might pose to you if you end up meeting that team in the finals?
It's a threat. They're definitely a threat. They're a team that, like I say, can score at will. They're a good team, and I think they're the favorites in the East now, since JH went over there. So it's going to be a fun battle. It's definitely going to be a battle.
We built different, dog. We built different. No.
Why are you and LeBron so good together?
We know that our relationship off the floor is going to help our relationship on the floor. Usually when your two main guys are not getting along, the team really isn't in good shape. And for us, we have two guys who really, really like being around each other and want the best for each other. So it makes everyone around us feel more comfortable and makes it easy for them to come talk to us or, be around us and hang with us, which helps our team camaraderie and help us get one step closer to our goal.
I want to ask you, too, how winning may have made you feel more connected to Kobe. The idea that you won in that same uniform, and in fact, you won on a title run where you guys wore the special Mamba uniforms.
And you took the words right out of my mouth, Rachel. The Mamba jerseys made me feel so connected to him. The game winner against Denver, I yelled Kobe. And it wasn't even intentional. It just happened. It was just like, I guess it was the jerseys. And then now, forever, no matter what happens, 100, 200, 300, 400 years from now, my name and Kobe's name will be connected as far as championships. Obviously, I have a long way to go to catch him, but I'm 4 behind now. And my name will always be tied to a Lakers organization as far as winning a championship, and so will his.
tonight's game, but Coos was just talking about how you guys have been extra cautious during the pandemic. An outbreak can move a team from a top seed to a 6th, 7th seed, something like that. And I just wondered, as you get to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th city on a trip, does that mental toll, does that accumulate? Does that get more difficult? How do you kind of keep the team on focus there throughout this unique situation?
Because there's still work to be done. I mean, we still, there's games we play, be work to be done. We got to continue to get better. And you can't really, get your mind into the grasp of how many days you've been on the road or whatever the case may be. Every team does it. Every team hits a long road trip. And as professionals, we got to keep our minds fresh, keep our bodies fresh as much as we can to go out there and put together a complete 48-minute game, or as close to 48 minutes. So, obviously we haven't done it the last couple of games. And we just got to be better on Saturday.
Just basketball-wise, did you notice anything about that second half, the biggest thing that stood out?
I think Detroit played extremely well tonight, and then we didn't play well. We didn't play well at all. Like our legs got to us a little bit on the second night. We're back-to-back. That was a result of it.
Dan?
Hey, LeBron. You mentioned the legs. I mean, you got off to such a hot start in this game. Is that kind of what you think turned for you tonight?
No, I don't think so. I think early on I got it going. And then I still, at the end of the day, still got to get my teammates involved. Even with my scoring early, we didn't have many, assists and things of that nature. So I want to try to implement my guys, get my guys involved in the game. And I definitely missed some shots that I know I'm accustomed to making, but it had nothing to do with my legs.
Hey, Frank has talked a couple times about the depth of his team and how tricky it is to kind of find minutes for everybody who deserves them, and how it can kind of force some maybe non-conventional lineups. How much do you feel that? How much do you feel that you personally are still adjusting to some of the different groups out there, and where would you kind of like to be soon in that development?
I'm definitely, and we're definitely all adjusting to playing with different lineups, and logging minutes with lineups that, one game you might not log with, or could be a few games in a row. So, it's kind of learning on the fly, and I think we're all learning on the fly because of the lack of practice time. With this season, it's very difficult to kind of, get those practice minutes on the floor and know what works and what does not work. Just very strange with that. A lot of our games are also just like, big practices for us too. We have to learn on the fly, and coach is still learning different lineups and seeing what combinations work, what combinations don't work. And myself, I'm out there playing with certain lineups I don't play with, certain lineups I do play with. So I log a lot of minutes with, guys that, may not have logged with, in a couple games. But like I said, it's all a learning experience, and all of us trying to figure it out.
Ron, how do you get comfortable and stay patient with that challenge or that circumstance of needing the games to be the practices because the reality of the schedule doesn't allow for actual practices?
I'll let you know.
Dan, I think you have a follow-up.
Yeah, LeBron, you guys have Boston on Saturday, and that's kind of one of those rivalries in sports that transcends even the country. I guess, what's it like to be a part of something so big like Lakers Celtics?
It's pretty cool. Just knowing the history, Lakers Celtics across, throughout the course of, this league, and what it means to this league, the history of this league. And just seeing some of the biggest games, some of the biggest rivalries, some of the best players that ever played this game, to be a part of this rivalry was a pretty cool thing, just learning the history. It's not like I didn't personally grow up watching them. Obviously I was, a little bit too young in the 80s, and then they had, rekindled a little bit in the late 2000s when, Kobe and them guys were going against KG and those guys. But, it's pretty cool. And right now it's different. Without the Boston fans and without the Laker faithful, it's not the same. It won't feel the same on Saturday. It's going to feel great to play another game and play against a very good team, but it won't have that rivalry feel. Just, the fans are so much a part of that rivalry, if you could just imagine, and just go back and watch those games, how key the fans were in all the battles over the course of the years.
All right, we'll wrap with Rachel.
LeBron, when is it in the cycle of games and off days and stuff and a road trip that you feel the most tired? Because we talked a lot about how short the off season was, how much energy it was going to take, and you get to the beginning of the season and there's kind of a burst of we're starting, but you're on a long road trip like this. When is it that you feel it? Is it right after games? Is it on the off days?
I don't get tired. I don't feel tired. I get my sleep, I get my rest. But I have a lot of energy. I don't get tired, and I don't even. My mindset never gets to a point where it's like, okay, this is a long road trip. I'm exhausted. Or I'm tired. I don't even think about that. When we have our games, I'm ready to go. When we're not playing, I have an opportunity to rest and get my body back right, get my mind refreshed. But I don't get tired.